Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And attorney John Deaton, he said on Sunday that should an oral argument on the XRP motion to intervene be granted, which would allow this limited time slot to highlight to the judge a good example of XRP's independent utility. And what I mean by independent utility is independent from the company Ripple. He points to the use case of the XRP Ledger being used with the application Spend the Bits. Spend the Bits, there are many reasons why this is such a fabulous solution. And you might say, well, okay, Eddie, tell me what they are. Well, first, it is using the XRP Ledger. And if you say, well, so what? I want to tell you that the Ledger is a decentralized open source platform, which is really fast. I mean, you can do the transactions in a matter of a few seconds. The transaction fees on the Ledger are also pennies to move very large amounts of value. It's secure, it's scalable, it is available 24/7, and no, both parties don't have to be online to use it. This is an application that is a powerful solution for Bitcoin. It's widely known that moving Bitcoin from one address to another is expensive and it's slow. And when you break down the individual transactions and compare energy usage, moving a Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain uses an insane amount of energy. Spend the Bits doesn't solve the mining issue. Yes, I know that. But once a Bitcoin enters into the ecosystem, the energy savings when moving this digital asset is massive. And I want you to meet Jay Cambo. He is the CEO and founder of Spend the Bits. He's based out of Edmonton, Canada. He has years of experience working with developers in technology solutions. As a project manager on the operational side, he has done a lot of projects for banking partner solutions and enterprise software solutions in various financial sectors, including Swift messaging system for cross-border payments. So he's not new to the payment system at all. And he knows that Bitcoin adoption has seen a recent surge. You can see here addresses holding 0.01 to 1 Bitcoin grew by 710,000 since the start of the year 2021. And another sign of this growing adoption, we can see the on-chain transfer value of Bitcoin. It is the highest levels ever, 447 billion in value for April compared to 366 billion in March and 319 billion in February. This is per coin metrics. And May 5th, the New York Digital Investment Group, they announced that Bitcoin will be coming to hundreds of US banks later on in the year. And so you're just going to see a lot of Bitcoin moving all over the globe. The problem is, well, it is just not that easy to move. And even if you look at the Lightning Network, which is a layer 2 platform alternative, it is still far inferior to the Spend the Bits solution. When sending Bitcoin on Lightning, both parties have to be online. It also has huge capacity constraints. That means how much you can send. And the payment channels, they are also required to be pre-funded. It's not safe and secure for high value amounts. And honestly, it's not been battle tested, and it is still in an experimental technology stage. And if you are saying that that is not quite correct, I want to just point then to you where you can hear the Bitcoin maximalist, the chief strategy officer of CoinShares, Melten Demirors, talk to Laura Shin about Lightning Network, and you're going to hear that there is a liquidity problem. The constraints are actually baked right into the Lightning in terms of the limits in what you can send. It is to preserve security if things go wrong. I mean, wow, if things go wrong. It doesn't make economic sense either. It is so expensive to pre-fund these channels. It is truly in its infancy, and it requires to be more battle tested. Have a listen to just a short portion of Melten speaking.
So there are some natural constraints that are baked into Lightning while it is still in sort of its infancy that also limit capacity, and those constraints over time, as the network's more battle tested and more channels are established, will hopefully be lifted a bit to facilitate more transactions. But it's sort of like the limit you have on Venmo. I think on Venmo you can send like $2,000 a week. There's some sort of limit that's applied because it is, to Nick's point, a lower security platform. You can't send billions of dollars of money through Venmo, or even as an individual user, you have an actual limit on how much you can send. Likewise, right now in Lightning, there are some capacity constraints that have been applied just in order to preserve security and to ensure if things do go wrong, the amount of capital and the amount of Bitcoin collateral that's lost is minimized.
What's lost is minimized. That's why you cannot put high value through. Wow. It's just again, why Spend the Bits is so valuable. At the start of May, we did begin to hear about another proposed solution for Bitcoin to upgrade the network. It's called Taproot. It's going to increase privacy. It is, if adopted, will lead to some lower transaction costs. It also provides a new type of signature that would enhance or make it easier to explore smart contracts. And most importantly, it does give the needed improvements to Lightning, addressing the speed, the scalability, the cost, and the limited put-through. But you just don't know. It's so difficult to get that done because there is not one person in charge to push changes through. Taproot is more or less an upgrade that hasn't really signaled support yet from the miners for which it needs to reach a 90% threshold. Only 21% signaled support as of May 4th. Right now, Taproot is in the middle of their speedy trial, and it will have to go back to the drawing board if it can't get the buy-in. They have until August to get this decided. And just within the last 24 hours, Andreas Antonopoulos really gave us some insight as to where that Taproot adoption or approval is at. And I just couldn't believe that there is actually the threat of a soft fork, which could happen to force the miners. It's unbelievable because the last time we had this disagreement, well, the big one back in August 2017, that's when we saw the hard fork of Bitcoin Cash. It was just terrible for the ecosystem. And I just don't want to see anything like that again. So threatening the miners, I think, is a very slippery slope. Andreas just uploaded this video, as I said, on May 31st, and it discusses the current buy-in, and it does seem to be increasing some buy-in. So I don't know, maybe there will be a Taproot activation. I'm going to put the link to this video in the description below, and you can listen to what Andreas has to say and make your own opinion. I'm going to be watching it closely. Now here is Jay on James Rule, XRP's channel, in February, doing a live transaction. And as a licensed money transmitter in Canada, this app that's using the XRP Ledger, you can see the real-time movement, and it gives you a self-custody wallet, which is, of course, your own keys. And it is just a beautiful solution for sending Bitcoin on a person-to-person basis. Let me just play 1 minute here for you.
I want to send maybe $20 on top of XRP Ledger, so just click on pay securely. Now this confirmation screen will show you two things. First, a confirmation in the Bitcoin and the confirmation in the Canadian currency. So if you press on the toggle, it will show you all the details of the transaction. So hit confirm. The moment you hit confirm, a OTP will come. It's autofill OTP. You don't have to fill it, and just click on verify and pay, and then go into the check balance. So now you will see this transaction right now it's in the pending status. So I'll just wait for 3 to 5 seconds. It will give us the confirmation as well.
That is pretty awesome. Sending Bitcoin.
So there you go. The transaction has been gone through. You can see over here the transaction is successful, and I can verify this transaction on top of XRP Ledger on the validator as well. So if you see, this is a testnet explorer, and if you see over here, we send a Bitcoin on top of XRP Ledger, and we burn the fees into the XRP.
Wow.
So we are also helping into the XRP ecosystem by burning the fee every time you initiate a transaction.
Yeah, every time you do a transaction, it burns a little bit of XRP. So that is also adding to the value of reducing supply. And there is a lot of planned development for this particular app to be used in other currencies and with other coins. So I think, yeah, this is a great example of an independent use case that is in the XRP ecosystem using the ledger. And also, I hope that you learned a little bit about the pending upgrade to the network that's trying to happen for Bitcoin called Taproot. And I think Andreas Antonopoulos is a good source to follow for all the most current updates. All right, everybody, we are jumping to a little bit of fluff. And I want to talk about Jinichi Kawakami. He is the 21st head of the Kokobon clan, who is now in his 70s, but began his ninja training at the age of 6. Originally, he had not really planned to pass on all of his comprehensive knowledge, but in this pandemic, he had a change of heart, and it increased his urgency to consider a form of online instruction where it could be passed down. This knowledge is knowledge that has been passed down since the 1600s. Here you can see Mr. Kawakami in a TEDx video from 2013. This one is very, very interesting because he is kind of a charisma. He's got charisma, and he also is really serious about his trade. And to become an excellent ninja, you need to have both intelligence, which is yonin, and your practical skills, which is yinnin. And the level of courses that he is trying to get off the ground, starting with this channel, is of course the history, and then also you need to learn how to rethink how you listen. You have to learn about medicinal plants. You have to learn the art of disguising yourself, the ways to walk, raising your concentration, sense of smell, meditation, hiding techniques, the use of the basic ninja tools. And this is all the basics that are covered just to get you to the second dan. To become a true master is 10 dan, and it is a goal that I think a lot of people would like to attain. So he is starting his first online academy, and did so by kicking that off with a Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, there are 41 more days to go. And it's an all or nothing funding project with a deadline of July 12th. And he wants to reach this goal of just roughly 50,000 US dollars. And I do hope that he achieves his goal. Here's just a portion of the intro that I'll play for you.
Nindo. That is the way of shinobi. This is secret of ninjutsu. To realize what? Knowing yourself, knowing others. Train yourself hard, yet impedience. That make you always come no matter what happens. Endure each other. Which is the spirit of shinobi that is needed right now.
So I'll put a link to this Kickstarter campaign also in the description below. If it's interesting for you, great. And I do hope he attains that goal. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.